Hello everyone, in this video we are going to start the verb. So when we talk about the verb, run, dance, read, write, pluck, eat, all these words which I just told you are the verbs. Verbs. This word verb is taken from the Latin word verbum. The spelling is V-E-R-B-U-M, which means a word. So let's learn about verbs in detail today in this video. About the definition of the verb, that says it is a word that tells the action of the subject or what is possessed by the subject. So this subject is what? The doer. It may be the doer, it may be noun, it may be pronoun, right? I have written some sentences here for you. Ruskin Bond is a famous author. So here in this sentence, when I am talking about the subject is what, right? Or who. So who is a famous author? Ruskin Bond is a famous author. So Ruskin Bond is what? It's a subject here in the sentence, right? Now we have just read that it tells about the action or what he possessed, or we are talking about the being of the subject, so that is called verb. So Ruskin Bond is a famous author. So actually we are studying that verb is what? Read, write, eat, that's it. And in some special cases it may happen when I usually ask the students to tell me some of the verbs, they say saying, reading, writing. Actually when we talk about verbs, the base form we have to tell, that is what? Read, right? Which is called verb first also. So read, write, play. See, the base form is read, it's not reading. The base form is write, it's not writing. Okay, so here you may say that the verb is not there, but the helping verb is also what? Verb. When there is no main verb in the sentence, the helping verb is called the main verb. So Ruskin Bond is a famous author. Here we are talking about Ruskin Bond, right? Here we are telling the being of Ruskin Bond, that what he is. So he is a famous author. So here this sentence and is here representing the being of Ruskin Bond. He has a house in Missouri. Second sentence, he, again subject is what? He. I am talking about Ruskin Bond here too. So he has a house in Missouri. Here the verb is what? Has. And this has is telling the possession. Okay. This has is telling us the possession. Clear? So that is also working as a verb. In the third sentence, he has written many stories. So once again subject is he, and has written is telling us about the action done by him. So what he did, what he has done, that he has written many stories. Okay. So here we learnt about the three states of the verb. First is being, second is possession, and the third one is action, right? So let's understand this with the help of some more examples. He ran a long distance. Here in the first sentence, he ran a long distance. The word ran is what? Verb. This is the second verb we are using here. He ran a long distance, because the base form of ran is what? Run, right? So he ran a long distance. So ran is what? Telling about the action of he. Clear? Second sentence is the baby sleeps. Here the this verb sleeps is telling about the state of the baby, that what the baby is doing. So baby sleeps. This is a there is a flaw in this diamond, right? So this is telling about the being of the diamond, that is this diamond is, there is a flaw in the diamond. So three things we have learned here, that verb can tell in a sentence about the being, about the state, and about the possession. So let's recall it once again. A verb may tell what a person or thing does. Okay, the sentence is Hari laughs. So Hari is subject and laughs is what? That's a verb. What is done to a person or a thing? Second point is verb tells us that what is done to a person or thing. That is, the window is broken, right? So this is telling about the being of the window, that it is broken window. And the third one, what a person or thing is, the cat is dead here. So is dead is telling us about the verb, okay, once again. So dear students, please take the screenshot of this, make the notes in your notebook and learn this for your exam. Next we are going to do transitive and intransitive verb, but before that we will do today regular and irregular verbs. So just take the screenshot, note it down in your notebooks. Now we have to see that what are regular verbs and what are irregular verbs. These are also known as weak verbs and strong verbs. So let's understand what are regular verbs and irregular verbs. So when your teacher gave you some task that write the first form and the second form and the third form of this verb, you use past tense and past participle for that. Suppose drink is the verb given to you and the past tense of the drink is drank and past participle means the third form of that verb is drunk. So what you notice here, drink, drank, drunk, right? So this all the three verbs of this drink is what? Different, right? So that is what? Irregular verb, that is known as irregular verb, and it is also known as strong verb. But when we form the verbs by adding ed, okay, or t in the end of the same words which are there in the verb first, right, or in the present tense you may say, like walk is there. So walk, walked, walked, clear? Talk, talked, talked. Laugh, laughed, laughed. So when the verbs of past form and past participles, they are formed by adding ed or t, like such words in the end. So those are known as weak verbs or regular verbs. Okay, so this was very important before doing transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. So what do you understand here? That the verbs may be of two kinds, right? On the basis of regular and irregular verbs or strong and weak verbs. So weak verbs are also known as regular verbs which are formed by ed, generally ed or t in the end, right? And the strong verbs are also called irregular verbs. For example, sit is the first verb, second verb is what? Sat, and the third verb is also sat. So these are irregular verbs, clear? Or these are also known as strong verbs. Now the next thing which is very important before doing transitive and intransitive verb, that is the object of the verb. Whenever you write down the subject, it is not necessary that there is object, but when we have to sort out the verbs on the basis of transitive and intransitive, then there should be object in the sentence. So please note it down, transitive and intransitive when we want to do. So this role of the object is very necessary. While I said you that when we want to sort out transitive and intransitive, in both of the cases the object is not required, but one type is it should have actually the verb, the object of the verb. So before doing transitive and intransitive verb, let's talk about the object of the verb, though we have discussed this topic in our previous chapters. So object of the verb I am talking about. See, let's see what are there in the sentence. She packed the bag or he packed the bag. So he is what here in this sentence? He is working as subject, right? Packed is what? It is verb. And the bag is what? That is object. Okay. So what is the position of the object in the sentence? That is just after the verb. So this is verb and just after the verb there is what? The bag. Second sentence, she filled the water bottle. So she once again is what here? Subject. Filled is what? Verb. And the water bottle, this is object. Now, do you think these objects are necessary for both of the kinds of transitive and intransitive? No. For transitive we require objects, and for intransitive verbs we do not need a object after the verb. So let's understand this sentence also. They bought a gift for her. Now they is what? Subject here. Bought is what? That's a verb. A gift and for her. Now here we are having two kinds of object. You must understand, you must remember actually that there are two kinds of object. One is direct object and one is indirect object. If by chance you have missed the video where I explained you object, so please watch that video carefully, that is very important. So here I will tell you in short that what are the direct objects and what are indirect objects. So see, in this sentence, they bought a gift for her. So what is the verb? Verb is bought, right? And this will, a gift is there and her is there. So here one thing is telling about, is referring about, referring to a person, and second thing, second part of the sentence means the second word for her, that is referring to the person, or you can say the receiver and the object which he is receiving. So the object he is receiving, that is what? That is gift, right? So that will work as direct object here. The thing works as direct object, and the receiver who is getting that, okay, or you may say the person in the sentence, that works as indirect object in the sentence. So please listen carefully once again, that the gift is a thing, so that's why it is working as direct object here, and her is person, is referring to a person, and that is why this is indirect object in the sentence, right? Second kind of this second style of the sentence which is having both of the objects. So this is what? This is direct object and this is indirect object. And this one is Naman threw a ball on her. So once again, Naman is what? Subject. Threw is what? Verb. Ball and her. Okay. So one is a thing and second is a person. So thing is what? Direct object and second is indirect object. But it is not necessary that there will, the receiver who is getting the thing is person always, right? So it may different. That's why I always say that the receiver, okay, who is getting the thing, that is what? That is indirect object, and the thing which he is receiving, that will work as direct object. So I hope you understood these objects of the verb. So once again I am telling you, the position of the object is always just after the verb. So please take the screenshot of this regular verbs, the regular verbs and object of the verb also. And this regular verb is known as what? This is also known as weak verb here, and this irregular verb is known as strong verb. Okay. So this is very, very important. You should have the knowledge of all these things, that what are regular verbs, what are irregular verbs, what are transitive verbs, which are intransitive verbs. And as I told you, to get the transitive and intransitive, you should know that what is the object, because only that can tell you the difference between transitive and intransitive. So that's all for today. In our next video, we will discuss transitive and intransitive objects. So please keep on revising, keep on learning, stay safe, stay happy. Thank you very much.